You're not into Mother World?
I'm from the mommy planet.
You're right. That is better.
Welcome to the Year of the Movie podcast, the podcast where we talk about movies from the year of the movie 2023. We're your hosts. Whenever I do that intro, it's nowhere in my head until I just start talking, and then it just is there.
It just starts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to think about it for a second, and then as soon as I say welcome, it just
Takes
goes.
over.
We started this podcast to talk about movies from 2023 because 2023 is the year of the movie.
Mm-hmm. And this is the podcast.
Why? Why is it? Because it was a weird year. It was a goofy year.
Yeah.
You had strikes.
Mm-hmm.
But also with strikes, you had movies like 80 for Brady, 65, Strays, George Foreman, Barbie, Oppenheimer,
Cocaine Bear,
etc.
Yeah.
So if you like that concept and you like this podcast, go ahead and support us on Patreon, review and rate wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I talk better, I swear. And make sure you also follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. What wonderful 2023 movie are we talking about today?
We're talking about Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. I had to remind myself of the full title.
Yeah. Or, as the title sequence comes on,
Yeah.
it's Rebel Moon, A Child of Fire, Part 1.
Yeah. Which, yeah. The synopsis is, when a peaceful settlement on the edge of a distant moon finds itself threatened by a tyrannical ruling force, a stranger living amongst its villagers becomes their best hope for survival. What were your first impressions when you heard about this movie? And Zack Snyder thoughts?
My first impressions when I heard about this movie were fascinating, because when I heard about this movie, it was when it was announced that they were making it, and that it was based off of his concept that he pitched to Lucasfilm for a Star Wars film.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, interesting.
Yeah.
Someone is basically making their Star Wars fan film,
Mm-hmm.
and I can kind of support that.
Yeah.
But it's Zack Snyder.
It is Zack Snyder.
So for my Zack Snyder thoughts, I keep hearing something.
Yeah.
For my Zack Snyder thoughts,
Just that noise.
I like Zack Snyder's The Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's the greatest film of all time or greatest superhero film,
You just like it.
but I like it.
Yeah.
I think The Watchmen is a thing that Zack Snyder's style fits.
Mm-hmm. It's the most theatrical, which is weird because, the first word that I thought of was, comic booky, but, that's also what the DC of everything is, and, yeah.
Anything else I've seen of Zack Snyder's, I've not liked. And I'll say I've never seen 300, which is, the main thing
I think
I think really got him big, and then that
have.
zombie movie.
Yeah.
From the remake in the early 2000s.
Well, we did watch,
And then he had the other one.
yeah, Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Which we watched because Tig Notaro was in it.
Tig Notaro.
Yes.
Yeah. That is the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen it, I would watch it, because Tig Notaro is completely CGI'd in to replace a different actor.
I forget who.
Comedian who was canceled.
Someone who was canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember when I heard about Rebel Moon, but at some point I was aware of the Star Wars connection and everything. I was like, okay, this does sound interesting, because I feel like something that we've said and something I see online a lot is people being like, well, why does everything have to be part of a franchise? Why can't stuff be new?
Yeah.
And this seems like this is an attempt to do that, of just you can set a different space story not related to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he was going for it. I don't have any real thoughts. I hear it too. Something's
moving in this room.
This is fun. Um, it's Zack Snyder. He's in the walls.
You better say something
Yeah.
nice.
The nice thing I was going to say is I have no thoughts on Zack Snyder. I've never really seen any of the DC related superhero movies. Even like maybe once I've seen Nolan's Batman. Like I've seen very little
Oh,
about DC.
okay.
Um so I have no thoughts on like the Snyder cut or anything like that.
Yeah, I thought the Snyder Cut was worse. But maybe because it was a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. Um I've maybe seen 300, but I don't know why or like
Mm-hmm.
when I would have seen it, but it feels like in my head I want to say I have seen it. I think I fell asleep during it because I was like too young to
Sure.
care about what was going on in it.
Yeah.
But
You want to know what I have seen?
yes.
Sucker Punch.
Mm. Mhm.
Bad.
Oh, okay.
Bad film. Bad film.
Should we talk about the trailer for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. It's not my favorite trailer.
Sure.
The first half of it, it highlights like it's basically just like here's a supercut of the first scene of the movie. So it's like the stranger that lives in the village who has become less of a stranger and everything. And then like the first major fight sequence setting up like the main character is looking for help to fight against an evil empire. Um, and then there's text that says there are no heroes, only rebels. And then the last 30 seconds of the 3-minute long trailer is just scenes out of context flashing to dramatic music. It
Yeah.
looks like a Zack Snyder trailer. So it is okay. I don't remember if I want to say I did see this trailer a while ago.
I definitely did. I
And I
definitely
think
watched it.
there was like enough going on in it that I was like, all right, like I'm not against any of this. It's got some fun imagery.
Yeah.
So it's effective in that way, I guess.
The cast?
The cast.
Sofia Boutella
Mhm.
as Cora,
Mhm.
Michael Huisman
Mhm.
as Gunnar, Ed Skrein as Atticus Noble, Jimon Hansu
Mhm.
as Titus, Charlie Hunnam as Kai, Stars Nair as Tarek, Bae Duna as Nemesis, Ray Fisher as Darian Bloodaxe,
Mhm.
Cleopatra Coleman as Devra, Fra Fee as Belisarius,
Mhm.
Carrie Elwes as the King, Anthony Hopkins is the voice of Jimmy, and many characters in the movie.
Yeah.
So these are the key ones.
These yeah, are the I guess quote unquote main characters. There's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
There's yeah. The names are very sci-fi names. Just and then also Darian Bloodaxe.
Yeah, which like does sound goofy, but
Yeah.
also Skywalker and
Mhm.
Star Killer was the original name.
Savage Opress.
Yeah, so it's like it's very yeah.
It's not wrong. It just feels more on the nose.
I think one of the problems, and I'm just gonna say
Okay.
right off the bat,
You
that
have problems with this
I have
movie?
problems with this movie.
Oh.
One of them is that it's not an original movie.
Mm.
It's an original universe,
Yeah.
but it really is just Star Wars. And then it really is the classic samurai.
It's Seven Samurai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So yeah, seventh. We'll get into that later. Yeah. For now, we'll go through the plot of this movie. Some of this is from me, some of this is from Wikipedia, because things happen in this movie where it's like, I don't know how to summarize that. Okay, so there's narration from Anthony Hopkins that establishes that there was a king ruling over the galaxy in an empire known as the Mother World. But the ruling family was assassinated on the princess's coronation day, and now there's a senator trying to establish himself as the new regent king, and there's a rebellion forming to get out from Mother World control. watching this, you were sitting there like, man, I appreciate Anthony Hopkins telling us this, but wouldn't it be nicer to just read this in a scroll?
Yeah, it really felt like Snyder was banking on having text on the screen.
He was sitting there like, okay, how do I not do the scroll? I know, Anthony Hopkins, get in here.
But like, it's not like Star Wars is the only thing to have ever had text open up a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of like the first big things for sure, if not the first big one.
The style is
But,
most closely associated.
Even Rogue One
Mm-hmm.
had text. It just wasn't a scroll.
Yeah.
Like, just put text on the thing. Even have Anthony Hopkins read it out loud if you want. But like, it's more obvious.
We were trying not to.
Yeah.
But just having no text for this very convoluted plot setup.
Yeah, and he was saying so many names and things. Like, it was just
Yeah.
like, I'm listening, but I'm not processing.
Yeah. So Cora works in the fields of her farming village on the moon Velt. They're celebrating a successful hunt that night, with the head of the village encouraging everyone to party and thank the gods. That evening, Cora speaks to Hagen, who is an older man that she lives with, who encourages her to find a partner. He says that's the last step in making her a full member of their village. The next day, the village is working when Cora sees a warship above them. She sounds the alarm, and they all gather to figure out how much they want to cooperate with the Mother World. Cora warns they'll want everything, and another farmer, Gunnar, says they should attempt partnership. Gunnar is like or I guess the whole village is like very community based, and everyone is focused on like what is good for the community, and Gunnar takes it to like, whoever gives us the best price for our grain, then that's who we'll work with. So he sells to the rebels, and then he's like, if they'll give us money, then we can take their money. Yeah. So Atticus Noble uh, is a. I think this is when the Wikipedia text shift happens. Atticus Noble, a sadistic admiral of the militaristic Imperium.
The Nazi.
Yeah.
He's the space
He's
Nazi.
the space Nazi. He arrives at Velt on behalf of the Mother World. He explains that his troops are hunting for a band of rebels led by siblings Devra and Darian Bloodaxe, and offers to buy the village's surplus grain. The village leader, Sindri, declines, claiming that the villagers barely have enough to survive, which is a lie. He's going with Cora's advice of like, let's not offer anything more than what they ask for and try to be, as under the radar as possible.
Yep.
Gunnar, ignoring earlier warnings from Sindri and Cora, indicates that the villagers might have a higher amount of grain. Noble kills Sindri and orders Gunnar to prepare grain for them in 10 weeks, which would not leave the villagers with enough to survive. Noble departs, leaving several soldiers and a Jimmy robot to oversee the harvest. The soldiers are mean, even to Jimmy, and they harass a girl named Sam who has to bring them water from the well. Sam is nice to Jimmy, and he says that she reminds him of the princess. The robots are like, they're nicknamed Jimmy. I forget what it stands for, but everyone just calls him Jimmy. And then like, one of the soldiers is like pretty clearly a terrible human, and he shoots Jimmy, so then he like falls in the space cow poop, and then he has to clean himself off, and then Sam is with him at the river, and she like makes a flower crown for the robot, which is a good visual.
The best scene of the movie
Yeah.
is right now.
Yeah.
It's the robot cleaning himself off,
Mm-hmm.
and then the little girl talking to him,
Yeah.
and
Not little girl. She's like,
13 maybe.
no. Like
Older?
16.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
18.
She looked like a child to me.
She's supposed to be older teens, because the one soldier says a really gross thing where he's like, I like him young but old enough to fight back.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Child.
whatever age that is, which is a rough description. Yeah, so Cora decides to leave the village. She tells Hagen it's already lost. As she's about to leave, Cora finds that most of the soldiers are about to rape Sam, and she decides to kill them all, with the help from Eris, who is a soldier who was trying to get the troop to stop. Jimmy intervenes and kills the squad leader, saving Sam. Cora warns the villagers to mount a defense, knowing that Noble will kill them once he returns. So they're carrying Sam in to this building. Eris is like trying to tell them to stop. He also like stood up for Jimmy earlier,
Yeah.
and then Cora kills them all in an extended slow mo freeze frame Snyder sequence, and then Jimmy shoots like the last soldier. So it's like all of them on the same side visually.
Yeah.
And then spoilers, Eris is gone from the rest of the movie.
And for the most part, so is Jimmy.
Yeah, which is the most upsetting part.
The only reason I want to watch the second part
is because of
is
Jimmy.
because of Jimmy.
Yeah. So knowing that the village doesn't stand a chance against Noble's army, Cora decides to find warriors with the rebellion to help form a defense. She asks Gunnar to go with her since he sold grain to the rebellion and he may know where to find them. Along the way, Cora explains to Gunnar that she used to be an Imperium soldier. Plot twist. Her family was killed by General Belisarius's army, but he found her and decided to adopt her and rename her Arthelius, I think. She was really high in the army rankings and even became close with the royal family, even becoming the princess's bodyguard. It's implied that the deaths are the reason she left. I was trying to remember if she specifically said like what led to her leaving, and I don't think she does.
I don't think she did.
She's just like, I used to be with them, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't think too hard about it. Yeah. So Cora and Gunnar find Kai, who is a thief and a pilot, who decides to help them reach Titus, who is another former Imperium general who defected. He's like legendary, and he's the reason that like Cora sets out in the first place. She's like, if we can find this guy, then we might stand a chance. Kai says along the way that he can stop for other warriors he thinks might be willing to help. In extended sequences, then they find Tarek and Nemesis to join them, and then Titus just like has no scene. He just joins the group.
I like
Yeah.
extended sequences, 15 minutes for both of them, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Of, like, what is it? Tarek was basically a slave,
Yeah.
and then they were like, hey, guy who owns this guy, what can we do to free him? And then he was like 300,000 space credits, and they're like,
Space dollars.
we don't have that. And he was like, well, I'm a gambling man.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And he was like, if he can go tame that hippogriff, then I'll let him free. And he went and tamed a hippogriff.
It's basically a hippogriff.
It's truly just it's a bird horse
Yeah.
with yeah.
That part, it ventures into just straight up fantasy. I'd say most of this is trying to go for like sci-fi spaghetti western / samurai
Samurai,
movie.
yeah.
And that was just like, well, that's from the Harry Potter. I know that
That's
animal.
the hippogriff, yeah.
Yeah.
They just made it all black.
Yeah. And so he rides it. It's like this full like flying sequence.
It's the flying sequence from Harry Potter when
Yeah.
Harry Potter tames the hippogriff.
Yeah.
Except
His name is Tarek.
and he's super muscular and no shirt.
Yeah. He barely wears a shirt in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Nemesis also has a cool sequence where she like they're in a more, I'd say, traditional sci-fi planet where like it looks very Blade Runner, like cyberpunky, yeah. And they're trying to convince her to go with them, and she's like on the way to help with something else, and then they just watch her fight this Spider Woman.
Yeah, big spider body. It's like a centaur, but instead of a horse, spider.
Yeah, and yeah, like the spider, I guess, is like the
The native
species of this planet, and then all this industry started taking over, and she's like, the pollution is killing my children, so I'm gonna take their children. And Nemesis is like, I get it, but that's not the way to handle this. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe this will be like maybe the spider will join them too or something. And then the spider dies. So
Yeah, Spider-Woman was like, nah.
I am just going to kill this child, though.
And they had this big giant fight sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's revealed that Nemesis basically has lightsaber katanas.
She does, yeah. She's also mostly cyborg. Because, like, she gets stabbed in her arm and it just sparks. Yeah.
And that was the extended sequences
Yeah.
for those two. And then Titus, the whole reason they were going, he was drunk, and then he was like, I'm not going. All right, I took a shower.
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
They were like, oh, he's fighting. Last we heard that he was in the Gladiator Coliseum fighting and everything. It was like, oh, okay, this is going to be like, another big fight sequence and stuff. And maybe it is in the extended cut or something. But it really just is, there's a drunk guy on the street. They get him cleaned up. And he's like, I don't want to do this. And she's like, well, then do it for the soldiers that you led that died. And then he does like a long, slow turn to look up at her, and then just cuts to all of them on the ship.
And he has a shaved beard.
Yeah. So Titus is there now.
Yep.
Using Gunner's previous dealings with the Blood Axes, the group then arrives at the planet Charon to meet them.
Planet Sharon.
Sharon. Darian agrees to defend the village and brings several rebels, including one named Milius, while Devra, his sister, is unconvinced that a victory against Noble's dreadnought is possible, and she declines. So after they depart, Noble arrives on Sharon, and he eradicates its population as punishment for assisting the rebels. There was, like, this king that I guess is, like, a independent guy, and they're, like, he had some sort of standing with the Mother World where, like, they weren't gonna directly go against him, and then they're like, just kidding, you've helped the rebels, so now you die.
Sorry, did we already establish Mother World and I just missed it?
Yeah.
Mother World.
You're not into Mother World?
I'm from the mommy planet.
You're right. That is better. So, Kai tells Korra that he has been moved by her quests to abandon his life as a smuggler, and that he has one last shipment to drop off, and then he'll join them and help the fight. So he takes the group to an unregistered trade depot, at which Noble's personal craft has arrived, and then he restrains and betrays them to Noble, revealing he has always intended to do so for the bounties on their heads. Noble identifies Korra and Titus as deserters, Tarek as a former prince, and Nemesis as the assassin of 16 Imperial officers and their security details in revenge for her murdered children. This is when Nemesis and Tarek's backstories come up for the first time. We are many hours into this movie by this point. Anyway, Kai demands that Gunner paralyze Korra. Gunner instead frees her and kills Kai. In the ensuing battle, the other warriors are freed, and casualties include Darian and Noble, the later at Korra's hands. Afterwards, Korra and Gunner return with the surviving warriors to Velt, with Jimmy watching them on their way to the village. So
this is a big fight.
It's a huge fight sequence. It's like ships are exploding. They're basically on like a space dock.
Yeah.
There's also, they showed them earlier, but there's this like restraining device.
Chair.
Yeah, chair, where it like it's just a little platform, and then it extends where it like it restrains you at your spine and holds your arms and stuff. And then there's a port in the back that like they use it at one point on this other guy, that you just put like a bolt gun through, and it severs the spinal column and then either paralyzes or kills, I guess, depending on what you want to do.
I thought it just killed.
I thought it just killed, and then Kai was like, paralyze her. So I don't know about that, but yeah, we watched it. We were like, surprisingly humane.
Yeah.
To kill someone.
The Nazis were
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then instead Gunner uses the bolt gun on Kai and shoots him in the head, and then he dies.
Up the chin.
Yep. rough.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't quite show. Like it cuts away before you fully see him like brain splatter,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, you don't see brains.
This isn't a super gory
No.
movie.
Cora kills
Cora and
Noble.
Cora fights Noble.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just like a whole like punching sequence. Darian Bloodaxe, his death was so like he basically just said like whoever wants to volunteer to go on this sci-fi mission then come with me. And then so like all of his rebels die basically because of of Noble's ship except one. And then he runs with a spear and breaks the glass of
The cockpit.
the cockpit and stabs the pilot slash shooter, misses. The guy shoots him, and then he stabs the guy again. So
And then dies.
dies.
But like this spaceship cockpit just broke from
From a spear.
one spear.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like he like chipped away. It was
No.
just like a yeah. And it wasn't established that Bloodaxe had like super strength.
Or like a really good strong spear or anything. This just seems like I don't know if I would trust that cockpit if I was going into
Yeah.
space. And maybe Rebel Moon space is different space and it's not a vacuum. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's fine. I don't know if I would you describe the fight sequences as impressive?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, because most of the fight sequences would throw slow motion in at random times.
Yeah.
Here's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like when you take a slow motion video on your cell phone and then you go and watch it and it has like it auto sectioned part of it as slow mo, but it was the wrong part because it doesn't know what you want to be slow mo.
Yeah.
And so it's like all of the interesting stuff is happening at normal speed and then it's someone's shoulder is turning in front of the camera or someone's foot is being like is just walking by and they slow mo that and it's like and then it speeds up in all of the interesting stuff. And
there was a part in the first fight sequence where Cora is killing all of the soldiers where she like has already shot a guy or like she also had an axe at one point. Either way, she's already like literally dealt the death blow and then she's like throwing him to the ground and then it slows down to like watch his head hit the ground. But like he's already dead. So it's not impressive when it's like yeah, he hits the floor.
Also they of like the one soldier that they were very clearly saying like this is the rapey soldier, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
She kills him, but it's out of focus.
You don't even see his face
in the background, and it's like there's no satisfaction of like, that. Like we're focused on a different guy pointing a gun at her.
Yeah.
With her and like the background out of focus, and the focus is on the gun, and it's just like what? That's bad.
Yeah.
It does not look good. Also, the guns look stupid.
The guns are square.
I don't like the production design of this film.
Oh, okay.
In general.
Yeah. Okay. So they take the people back to Velt. They say something weird about like, I'm almost sad we didn't have a fight here. This would have been a good place to die.
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. And then Noble's body is recovered by the Mother World forces.
Mommy Planet forces.
Who, I just have to say this sentence. The Mother World forces sent him to an astral plane to speak to the new Regent King. They've got liquid technology. They put him they put him in a bubble. With tubes in his body.
And tons of Zack Snyder lightning.
Yeah. And then it's like they're trying to kill him, but also the king said that he wanted to speak to him, so they're like, we'll get him in there.
Yep.
And then, yeah. So it's revealed that the Regent King is Korra's adoptive father, Belisarius, who demands that Noble finds Korra and returns her to him alive so he can kill her himself in front of the Senate. Noble's consciousness is then returned to his body. He screams, and the movie ends.
He screams.
He screams.
It's very much a Darth Vader end of episode 3.
Yeah.
No, but he just goes ah.
Yeah, because they had to like give his heart a lot of adrenaline or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't mentioned that part of the Motherworld forces are these like
Monks.
monks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
They're in all red
And gold masks.
and gold masks. And then they haven't been speaking this entire time. They just kind of like follow Noble around, and then they're in the background being kind of intimidating. So they are the ones that bring him back to life and everything, but they're talking to each other, and it's just like regular guys, like just regular voices and everything, and so like immediately not as intimidating if you hear them speak. But then also one of them said like, give him everything we've got to bring him back. And it was just like no space jargon of like 100 cc's of plot juice or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
My prediction for a movie that's already out, and we could easily
that we haven't watched yet. Yeah.
is that the monks are other Jimmy robots.
I could see that.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about things that stuck out with this movie. My first bullet point was
The movie.
what was happening. I can get into. I'm the type of nerd that can get into like dense sci-fi stuff where it's just like, here's the political climate of these planets and everything. I don't like if it's a complex plot like that, or if like, oh, we can't do something because of the political ramifications or whatever. That's fine. This felt convoluted in the way of like, you're just throwing everything at the wall and you're like, well, we're building our whole universe, so let's keep all of it. And it just doesn't feel cohesive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Also, this film
Mm-hmm.
is just set up.
Yeah.
Like, Zack Snyder, I think, would have preferred this movie be a 4 to 6 hour movie.
That was the original pitch.
Just one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have more on that later, but yeah.
I mean, there's also the director's cut.
Yeah.
Because that's all, I guess Snyder gets his Snyder cut for everything. But, no, it fully feels like this was just the rising action of a film, and then it ends.
And then it ends. Yeah. We already talked about it. The slow-mo moments were odd choices.
I would say they were bad choices.
Yeah. It's just kind of the thing he likes to do.
Yeah.
And it's a movie that's over 2 hours long, so it just kept happening where you just like, you just gotta laugh at it at a certain point. Like, if he had done it like 3 times or something, and you really pick your moments, I feel like he needs to set limits on himself for the style choices like that he's known for. Because, like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with, like, having an identifiable style. Like, Wes Anderson all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more particular with everything. And this is just like, do it again. Slow it down again. If it's the one trick, then you gotta do it less than 15 times.
Yeah.
So there were some plot holes. For example, what happened to the soldier who helped Korra?
He just ran away.
He just ran away. Same thing with Jimmy. So the visually, so Jimmy shoots the like troop leader, then he runs away. He's still wearing the flower crown that Sam made him. We don't see him like saying goodbye to Korra or anything. We don't see Eris saying goodbye to Korra. They're just both gone. Um, and then the final shot of the movie, I think before the noble stuff happens, actually.
Yes.
Then the group is coming home. Korra and Gunnar have the soldiers with them and everything. And then you see Jimmy's silhouette standing in the fields watching them, except now he's got antlers and a cape and like multiple antlers.
And he looks cool.
He looks like the robot Forest King.
Yeah. And I'm for it.
Yeah.
And that is why I want to see the second one, and I
Yeah.
know I'll be disappointed.
Yes. It felt like the visuals are cool, but also like I don't want to be forced to watch the director's cut in order for the plot of a movie to make sense. And it felt like that's what it was like. I want, maybe I should just find a summary that's just like, okay, what is included in the director's cut? Does it explain anything?
Yeah.
There were some reviews that I read that said that like, oh, the world building is like so good.
Well, they're wrong.
I don't agree. Yeah. I felt like there wasn't enough world building.
I don't feel like there was any world building.
So there was a lot of exposition to tell you what was happening with the main characters, what was happening with Korra, and what was happening with like the king that died and everything. But it really is just like Korra sitting down, telling Gunnar like, okay, well here's what you need to know about how I grew up. And then later on, I think it's after they find Nemesis or something, then it's almost like a anyway. And then she goes back to like picks up where she left off on her personal backstory and like extended flashback sequences and stuff. And it's just so stilted and unnatural with everything.
Two things.
Yes.
The princess has this universe's equivalent of the Force.
I forgot to include that.
Yeah.
She's got the Force.
Which basically they reveal that she revived a dead bird. The princess did.
Yeah.
So that's this universe's equivalent of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid, in my opinion, to be like, yeah, the royalty, the people already in power and in charge with anything they want, they also have the magical powers.
Yeah.
It's not the farm boy. It's not the everyday man who can actually, spark a rebellion and make a difference. It's the princess.
They said that, like, or Jimmy, I think, says that they were, like, programmed to worship the princess from before she was born, and there was, like, a prophecy that said that she would be born and have these special abilities.
Yeah.
And then she does.
Yeah.
And
I just think it's
it.
a silly thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, people in power, that's who we're worshiping.
Yeah.
Secondly,
yes.
The YouTube channel Arl Knots,
Mm-hmm.
they have a great video called Zack Snyder's Star Wars, where they do like a 15-minute edit of episode 4,
Mm-hmm.
but do it in the style of Rebel Moon. And
Yeah.
so it's like Darth Vader walking onto the spaceship, and they slow it down,
Yeah.
and it's like a minute of him just walking.
Mm-hmm.
And then
a lot of lens flares.
a lot of lens flares, a ridiculous amount of lens flares in Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Like more than J.J. Abrams, I feel like.
To the point where it's like, I can't see her face while she's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a part in the Arlnauts video where it's they have Darth Vader be like, I haven't felt this since 18 years ago when I was fighting against my master and former best friend Obi-Wan Kenobi, who raised me since being a young boy after my mother died, and my first master Qui-Gon Jinn. And it was just like so much exposition, and it fully encaptures what this movie felt like, because it really was just people were like, let me just lay out everything for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing with the world building is something that you had mentioned related to Star Wars was people like saying actual swears.
Oh yeah, I hate
Yeah.
that. It's a sci-fi where it's not Earth. it's the mother world, it's all of these different things.
Yeah.
People shouldn't be saying our swears.
Yeah. And there's so many, or like, not a whole lot, but people definitely swear, just use like the regular swearing, but also just like things, people say like, my God and stuff. It's all very
Yeah.
casual. I've been reading a lot about Lord of the Rings, where it's just like Tolkien's creating this whole universe and everything, and he's a linguist, and that's like one of the biggest reasons why everything feels so real or cohesive is because like the the names for everything has roots in different things, and like they're all like the family structure of the words is all related to each other. And I'm not saying you have to go full like create a new language for your thing, but it helps. And like the just people saying my God and like the throwaway like casual stuff, it just made it seem like they're just in a play
Yeah.
about, or like they're just in a sci-fi setting. And it's like, no, the words that you would say would change. Like you would, even if it's something like dumb of like my glebe or whatever
Sure.
instead of my God, like you can
Yeah.
cut and paste stuff like that.
My my really my only problem with Andor,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is probably the best made Star Wars, is that they say shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it takes me out because it's like everything else feels so immersive,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, well, shit, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ah,
Yeah.
really?
We're still saying that?
Come on,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, a galaxy far, far away, and we've both landed on the same sound.
yeah,
Yeah, and then I also had questions with like, I couldn't tell then based. I know it's a throwaway line, but like the village that Cora is in, then the guy is like, thank the gods of the harvest.
hmm
And then everyone else later on is just saying my God and everything. So it's like I can't tell if he is joking or if this is supposed to be like a am I reading too much into it, and like the mother planet is like a monotheistic culture and everything else is like
yeah,
they have multiple gods. I these are things that I would like to think about, but I know that Zack Snyder is not.
yeah.
Um yeah, what's up with the red monk guys
Right,
just in
great
general?
question.
Yeah. Um my other thing was that a lot of their imagery is just related to human anatomy, and it's like it looks kind of cool cuz like Noble has that hip bone cane
Yeah,
that's gold, and then the monks have like the gold skeleton masks and stuff. But it's just like this entire galaxy and we're just focusing on the human bones?
and I guess that's just like the Nazi side of it, and like Star Wars, the Empire is very human
Yeah.
centric and whatnot.
Star Wars has like a there's there's a practical reason of like we gotta just cast the people that exist in real life on Earth when we're filming this movie, and we don't have aliens that
Yeah,
are available for this. But then also like then they make the lore reason of like they basically are eugenicists, so they
yeah.
only want like humans to be their stormtroopers. This
It's never established in this
yeah,
outside of just like,
why wouldn't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, Noble had a weird tentacle sex creature
Yeah.
thing in his room,
Mhm.
which like makes sense.
He's a freak like that.
There was one alien that they saw in a bar that was basically a little bug that had tendrils that it attached to a dude and talked through the dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's neat.
Yeah, what's going on here?
But then it's just like, oh, there's a fight and he ran away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um all this basically just means that I felt similar things about this movie that I did about the creator, where I was like these elements are interesting, but I feel like we're focusing on the wrong like actual plot that's going on in this whole
that's fair.
thing that you have set. The creator is still more satisfying than this, but it's
hmm
like you're showing in that movie, it's like you're showing me robot monks. Like
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, robots have religion? And this, it's like, okay, well, who are these monk guys? Or what is this whole galaxy thing? Also, I don't know if, like, are they in charge of the galaxy? Is it the universe? Like,
Yeah. Who knows?
what is the any of
One
this?
star system.
Yeah, what's up with the prophecy system? Like, all of those things.
Yeah.
And, like, the rebellion, for sure, focus on that too. But, like, we're not even looking at the actual rebellion. We're looking at people who are like, oh, maybe we should join it, I guess. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think if the creator looked bad, then I would see them more on the same plane.
Yeah.
But this movie, I don't think looks good at all.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
it is more cohesive than like early 2000s CGI or whatever. But like, it looked, I don't want to say cartoony because it wasn't quite cartoony, but it was like
Stereotypical?
rubbery.
Yeah, I can see
Like,
that.
Nothing looked real.
Yeah.
In a way that like I think they could have gotten around if they had used more practical effects.
The strongest stuff, because like you said, you don't like the production design. I agree with the guns. They look really goofy. It's basically just like a rectangle with like
A trigger.
a trigger. The stuff that I think is the strongest is the stuff that's more agricultural. So like the village and the visuals with like the robots interacting with nature,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. As soon as they get into the bar where they meet Kai, then it's the cantina,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel lived in. It feels more like, let's get as many guys in here as we can to fill up this scene instead of the world.
Yeah.
My positive thing with this is that it seems like it would have been fun to make.
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of elements going on. Sci-fi seem cool to work on.
And from my understanding, Zack Snyder is really fun to work with.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish that the final product made more sense
Agreed.
for all of that effort. Anything else before we get to production facts?
I don't think so.
Cool. It was released on Netflix December 22nd, 2023.
Almost could
Under
have
the
not
wire.
watched
Yeah.
this.
But the curse says we have to. It had a limited theatrical run in 4 theaters in LA, New York, Toronto, and London on December 15th, 2023. The theatrical release was on 70 millimeter film, which is silly.
That sounds bad to watch this bigger.
Yeah. It had a 2-hour, 13-minute runtime, and it's rated PG-13. I forget how long the director's cut is, but it's
Longer.
more. It has a rating of 22% tomato meter with a 56% popcorn meter.
Sounds like we weren't hard enough on this movie.
Yeah. It's got a 31 out of 100 for Metacritic, which means generally unfavorable reviews, and then a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. The Rotten Tomato critic consensus says Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, proves Zack Snyder hasn't lost his visual flair, but eye candy isn't enough to offset a storyline made up of various sci-fi fantasy tropes. The audience consensus is a little more favorable, saying that it's still entertaining and it has good visuals, even if it relies on a lot of tropes. So, like, everyone has agreed, like, this isn't original.
Yeah.
Like, or at least it's been done before. You can put, a different alien in there, but it's the same.
It's sort of sci-fi fantasy, the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there are many reviews comparing it to Star Wars, of course. And then there was a 1 out of 5-star review from The Telegraph that says, a film populated by some of the Zack Snyder's Justice League filmmakers' worst impulses. A message of imagery, some of it attempting to shock, congregated largely around the idea of what might look good in a trailer.
A mess of it.
A mess of imagery, yes.
And if you want a more personal review to us, if you've been watching these podcasts or listening, our good friend of the channel, Sean, he fell asleep during the movie, and
I think that is the harshest review he could possibly give.
without giving a review.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he would want us to say, thank you for your movie.
Yep. The budget for this movie was at least $166 million. So this budget was shared with Rebel Moon Part 2, as far as I can tell.
That helps, I guess.
But Variety reported that the $166 million number was only for the below-the-line production costs in California, and that the real total would be much higher. So, if you don't know, below-the-line means anyone who's, like, not a department head, not a producer, who's, like, working on the movie.
Not
acting.
like the main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think extras are technically below the line, but, like, talent is not considered below the line.
Yeah.
So, hey, a lot of effort, a lot of man hours,
A lot of money.
a lot of money. As far as box office / streaming numbers goes, I didn't find anything about the limited theatrical run.
I would hope that it sold out the 4 theaters. So maybe it made $1,000 in the box.
$2, yeah. It premiered at number 1 on Netflix with 23.9 million views in 3 days. It's the second consecutive Netflix number 1 for Snyder after Army of the Dead. It is the 9th best 2023 debut for a Netflix original film in 2023. The top 5 are Murder Mystery 2 and The Mother. Those each have 42.9 million. Extraction 2 has 42.8 million. Leave the World Behind has 41.7 million. And Heart of Stone with 33.1 million.
Let's go, gal.
Yep. So we'll have to watch all of those except for Heart of Stone, unless
Already did.
yeah, and don't want to do that again.
Never.
I forgot about The Mother. That is a Jennifer Lopez assassin movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then it dropped to the number 2 spot in the second weekend, but overall it got 73 million views in its first month. And then once Rebel Moon Part 2 came out, then it had another resurgence. Yeah. But it pretty quickly dropped out of their top 10.
It was bad.
It was just immediately no momentum with it.
Yeah.
The production timeline for this movie.
Oh my god.
In 1997.
Sean was born.
Yeah. Zack Snyder discusses his idea for a sci-fi series with his friend Kurt Johnstad. Snyder had thoughts for a series in college, and then he and Johnstad started rough development about 5 years after their first conversation. And then inspirations for the movie or series included Star Wars, heavy metal magazines, and the films of Akira Kurosawa. So all kind of makes sense. He also said in an interview that he knew that Kurosawa movies were an inspiration for George Lucas.
Yep.
So he's right in that same vein.
Yeah.
Also, the heavy metal magazines were an inspiration for, or the Rebel Moon logo is an homage to the heavy metal magazine font.
Okay.
And when the Rebel Moon logo came up, I was like, that's a bad font choice
It's
for
a bad
this.
font choice.
It really
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. It's not sci-fi-y. And then 2012, Snyder pitches his idea as a Star Wars film to Lucasfilm shortly after they were bought by Disney. He said that he wanted no previously established characters, and he wanted it to be an R rating. So basically, he just wanted to live in the Star Wars universe and have his own story, which I'm not against.
Mm-mm.
If you're gonna, make a Star Wars, then I feel like at this point especially, you can't have a Skywalker in it. It's just been, or the timeline is just so squished.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
in there.
If he had someone else shoot it, which I think,
Then yeah.
yeah, it probably could have been something, and other people writing.
Yeah. He said that he knew it was a big ask, but he felt like things were so up in the air after the Disney deal that it was worth a shot. But like, he knew that it was pretty much going to be an immediate no, especially with saying that he wanted it to be an R rating.
Which is weird because not much of what happened in the movie, I'm like, that's an R.
So it's PG-13, but then the director's cuts are R ratings, which I get if you're doing like a Justice League scenario where it's like, well, for theatrical, we don't want to limit our audience, so we're going to say it's a PG-13, and then you can have the flexibility there.
Sure, Netflix
But
wanted the same thing.
it's Netflix. It's like they already like silo their viewers into like, if you were gonna watch this movie, then Netflix already knew who you were, and I don't think that like an R rating is gonna dissuade you from PG-13.
I think it's more just like families are more likely to watch PG-13, and so it's like if your family gets together for movie night and it's like typically your action film is what you get because
Sure.
it's something for everybody, then the parents are gonna be like, well, it's PG-13,
Mhm.
we'll watch it. If it's an R, then the kids won't watch it.
I feel like this movie is a hard sell as a family movie anyway.
I think it's a hard sell to watch.
It is, yeah.
So.
But like, just personality wise, there's nothing with, because like Star Wars can be a family movie because it's got like comedy in it.
And it's always been aimed at kids.
Yeah.
Which is what I wish more people knew. You were just kids when you watched it.
Yeah. So then in the 2010s ish, Snyder pitches his idea to Warner Brothers as a film and a video game. He says he did this, quote, a couple of times. So I don't really know what that specific timeline looks like, but he was shopping it around for a while. And then 2021, it was announced that the film would be a Netflix original. It was then split into two films after concerns about the length from Netflix Films chairman Scott Stuber. Snyder was unwilling to, quote, lose all the character and cut it down in length. So that's why they went for the two films.
The character or the characters?
The character is what it said. He
should have been willing to lose the character.
There's not...
Then maybe you would have...
much character.
A good plot?
Yeah. And then from April 19th to December 22nd, 2022, filming takes place.
Wow.
So, a long haul. It has a couple of awards, kind of. It's a 2024 nominee for the Zeitgeist Award from the Casting Society of America. It's a 2024 nominee for Best Special Effects Makeup in the Feature category from the Hollywood Makeup Artist and Hairstylist Guild Awards. 2024 nominee for Excellence in Sci-Fi/Fantasy Film, and the 2024 winner for Excellence in Costume Illustration from the Costume Designer Guild Awards. It also is a Reframe stamp recipient, which we've mentioned before, where it's basically just like the division of gender and other diversity markers in terms of like in front of and behind the camera. So that's good. And all of the awards or nominations are good of like recognizing the technical skill that went into making this movie. But nothing like, none of the big ones. It wasn't an Oscar contender. The tagline for this movie, war comes to every world.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess so. So Netflix did a full homepage takeover on the login screen to market Rebel Moon, which is something that it hadn't done for other original films. So for them, at least, they went hard on marketing. There are director's cut versions of both Part 1 and Rebel Moon Part 2 with R ratings for both of them. They also have alternate titles. So it's Rebel Moon Chapter 1, not Part 1, Chapter 1, Chalice of Blood, and Rebel Moon Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness.
God, these are bad titles.
I think
Those are embarrassing titles. Zach, like, you have to know. Like, oh, this sounds cool. That's such an edgelord thing. Like,
let's look at the
every
thesaurus,
day
yeah.
I have to deal with the curse of forgiveness. Those dumb meatheads in the locker room don't understand me. And I don't want to forgive them, but I'm the better person.
Don't come to school tomorrow.
So I deal with the curse of forgiveness.
And I also drink the chalice of blood.
That too. Chapter 2.
Yeah, Rebel Moon has a branding problem, I would say. Just, I'm not an expert, but like, yeah, even the part one, like the order of how things came on the screen was like he clearly didn't want part one to be the big text, but like it made it seem like, what is it, Child of Fire? Like that this was just part one of the Child of Fire story. And that's yeah. Okay, so then Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, came out April 19th, 2024. In interviews from 2023 through 2024 with Zack Snyder and writer Kurt Johnstad, both said that they were plans for a total of 4 to 6 movies, depending on if the sequels would also be split into 2 parts. Johnstad said, according to comicbook.com, we outlined movies 3, 4, 5, and 6, very detailed outlines, and Zack had literally plotted out the whole world. Johnstad explained, we know where we can go. The second movie, a little spoilers, the second movie was to find the princess, and the third movie is to make sure that the princess is where she should be, sitting on the throne and properly ruling over the mother world. So, spoilers, she's not dead.
Well, she could be. It could just be her body that they put on the throne.
That's true.
And they're like, that's where you belong. And then it just pans over and it's just a dead body.
Yep. And then May 2025, Johnson said that the sequels are no longer moving forward. So he said that they would need an act of God to return to the franchise. There were some speculations that like a Snyder cut like movement from fans might be necessary. But like despite the initially strong debut numbers on Netflix, there's just no enthusiasm to continue development. So why would Netflix sink another $166 million plus into movies that no one cares about, unfortunately? Yeah. And then July 2025, Snyder said that he still plans on returning to the franchise. He was kind of implying that the delay was due to his exhaustion from shooting back-to-back movies and working on his untitled LAPD SWAT movie for Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's a good time to have that come out. Yeah. Nothing happening in the world right now with LA and police. And
Netflix. Yeah. Cool. Good for Zack. A cinematic universe or an extended universe is still happening, though. So, Rebel Moon House of Blood Axe is a comic series set 5 years before the movie takes place. It follows Devra and Darian's backstory and following the Rebel Moon.
That's
no Rebel Moon.
Oh, it is a moon.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's certainly not a rebel. Oh, it is a rebel.
My bad.
Well, it must not be a child of fire.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's a chalice of blood, actually.
Is that a scar giver? Or is that the curse of forgiveness? I get them mixed up all the time. Rebel Moon Nemesis is also a 4-issue limited series, also a comic series published by Titan Comics. It establishes Nemesis' background in a prequel series as well. So it goes into, I guess, her killing those 16 Imperial officers and all that stuff that they said in one paragraph. And then July 15th, 2025, Bloodline, a Rebel Moon game, was released. It's a mobile game from Netflix and Zack Snyder's company, The Stone Quarry. It's available through the Netflix app. I don't know anything about, like, the play style or anything like that. But, again, branding issue, Bloodline, 2 words, Bloodline, a Rebel Moon game. I just, nah. In 2023, it was announced that there is development of a role-playing video game set in the universe. That is, like, the closest that I can get to like he's got these ideas clearly for like this whole world and everything, but I don't think that he knows what to make with the plot. Make it a role playing game where people make the plot themselves.
Yeah, this could have been an interesting video game because it could have just been like, oh, you're unlocking
Yeah.
books and then you read the
Yeah.
lore or whatever.
Make space Skyrim
Yeah.
and then have people figure this out for themselves. Yeah. July 2023 as well, Snyder announced that there were plans for a TV series focusing on Belisarius. This is my same issue of we're focusing on the wrong story.
I can't imagine this is happening. Which one was Belisarius?
He was the regent king that adopted Korra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would we care about
I
him?
don't like.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's unclear where all of these projects actually stand. There's a lot of announcements for things, but if Netflix isn't leading the charge on anything, then I don't really know what's happening. And also, Super Genius Games sued Netflix in 2023 for termination of their development of a tabletop role-playing game. So,
Yep.
Yep. So that's what I got. Yep. Should we rate the moon?
Yeah. We rate the moon out of 5. No, out of 4 with 5 options.
Yeah.
0 out of 4 is, oh no, that's no moon.
That's no rebel moon.
1 is, it was a moon. 2 is a well-made or enjoyable moon. 3 is an enjoyable and technically good moon. And 4 is an Oscar-worthy moon.
Yeah.
I almost want to change my score.
Whoa.
I'm gonna stick with it.
Were you going higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh.
I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah.
It was a moon.
Yeah.
I don't think it was written well.
No.
I don't think it looked good. I really didn't love the movie.
Other than that, thumbs up.
But Anthony Hopkins' robot
Yeah.
provides enough intrigue to me that I'm like, it was a movie.
Yeah. I have to also give it a 1 just because I'm fully on the thank you for your movie train to everyone else who made this movie. Zack Snyder in you have an idea in college and then you're able to actually make it. That's objectively cool.
Yeah.
You just gotta make it good in the nicest way possible.
Maybe be a little willing to compromise when people are saying
Or
this.
to sculpt it, yeah, and the man hours that went into it, it would be a lot to make this movie, and I hope everyone got every cent of that $166 million. So I'm gonna go 1. I'm also intrigued by Anthony Hopkins' robot. I just want, if Zack Snyder wants to make a short that's just about what happens following Anthony Hopkins' robot while Korra and what's-his-face are looking for the warriors, let's do that. I'm into that extended universe.
Or if it's in the director's cut, we will watch any of those excerpts.
Yeah.
I am not watching the director's cuts of these films.
I don't want to watch the director's cuts. So I would say Rebel Moon Part 2 we can maybe do as a bonus episode.
I'm up for that.
I'm up for that. Doing that, then I also want to watch the half-hour long making of documentary that's also on Netflix. I didn't watch it for this because I think these were filmed back to back, so I didn't want any more spoilers than I already got looking stuff up for this dense lore. So if you want to hear us talk about Rebel Moon Part 2 and figure out what happens to Anthony Hopkins,
go to our Patreon.
Go to our Patreon.
It'll be there at some point.
Yeah.
We like to talk about other movies that we've watched recently. We watched the new Superman in theaters.
We did.
In IMAX. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
It was a good time.
They filmed parts of it in Cincinnati, which is cool.
Yeah.
And our whole theater clapped during the Hall of Justice, because that is a place here in Cincinnati.
And people recognize it.
Yeah.
And they all said, yay, and they clapped.
Yeah. I like it. I like this whole French friendship is punk rock
Mm-hmm.
thing that they're going for.
Be positive.
Not to toot our own horn, but that was our goal
Mm-hmm.
with our short film, Hello, My Name is Friend Man.
Also a 2023 movie, technically.
Yeah. And I feel that Friend Man is sort of Superman without powers.
Mm.
Because
For this new version.
for
of
this
Superman?
new version, like this new version of Superman, I was like, that's what Friend Man would do.
They've got the same goal. They're on the same side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would really recommend the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's even with the superhero fatigue thing happening, I think it manages to. I mean, James Gunn has always understood that it's about the characters.
Yeah.
It's not just superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the characters feel pretty fleshed out
Mm-hmm.
and like real people.
Yeah.
And like I saw a thing that was like the biggest risk I took with this new Superman film was having 12 minutes of just one conversation.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that really.
Yeah.
Like, just one conversation between two people,
Mhm.
even just in non-superhero films, I feel like that's not something you get very often.
Yeah.
And it worked very well.
It did.
So,
I saw the thing of him saying he almost cut Superman saving a squirrel
yeah.
because test audiences didn't like it.
And then he was like, no, I gotta leave the squirrel.
Superman would save a squirrel. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like I'm like not the biggest like Marvel fan. Like I will watch it, but I'm at the point where it's like I don't need to keep watching them. But I will if we watch it in the theaters or something. Like I know I'm gonna enjoy it, but I don't really know if it's gonna stick with me necessarily. Like I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four, but like I don't need to stick with all of the everything that comes out and stuff like that. Watching this one, I was like, I enjoyed it more than that base threshold than I expected.
Because it's DC and it's different. Like it's
not necessarily that it's new, just that like it was different enough from like the Marvel quippiness, which is fun, but when you've done it for 10 plus years, it can get a little tropey.
We're almost at 20 years.
Almost 20, yeah. And this is like they make jokes and stuff. Superman isn't just like bland like Dr. Manhattan like all powerful being or whatever. But it's just like there is like the core of people are kind and stuff that is very appealing. Also, just like with the way that the world is, I feel like it came out at the right time where it's pretty clearly talking about or like directly responding to stuff that's going on. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, remember to follow us on social media.
Mm-hmm.
All of the ones.
All of them.
That you can think of.
Both of them. We're not on all of them. But
Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah. Just those two.
Technically, there's a virtual cocktail subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
And a Blue Sky.
And a craft singles subreddit.
r/craft singles.
Mm-hmm.
Our next episode will be about 2023's movie, Blackberry.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Leave questions and comments, and we'll respond on our other podcast, the Virtual House Sessions. But otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.